Fiend Folio. Hey everybody, and all that jazz. Hold on though, it's not Fiend Folio. This is default Isaac. You gotta go turn these all on, and then close it up, and then you reload it, and it'll take a second. Because I was recording some vanilla Isaac today. I didn't record Fiend Folio today. We recorded some vanilla Isaac. There you go. Streak of -3 seems about right. And put me on random. Travis Green was not fired. You got look. I don't take pleasure in being a guy that's rooting for another person to lose their job. Okay, so now it looks like I have like I'm some kind of a-hole. Here's the thing: he wouldn't have to be at risk of losing his job if he was just better at it. You ever think about that? Oh yeah. I gotta move my camera out of the way. You're on the wrong save file. I'm just gonna be honest with you. With the current state of my Isaac streak, does not matter in the slightest. If it matters to you, I apologize, but we're not. There's no major like streak or anything at risk right now. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Oh, your angel chance. Oh, your angel chance. Do the baby spiders do anything? It's hard to see, I think, but when you're playing, you can feel that they kind of move you. They move you around. Like they give you a little knockback effect or something like that. I appreciate, dude. I didn't realize, like, it's weird. It's a lot, and I mean this genuinely. It's a lot harder to play Isaac while streaming if you're glancing at chat, for sure. I noticed today when I was recording again, I was like, oh, this game's 10 times easier when you're not also trying to, like, you know, when you're just letting the running dialogue play out off the top of your head instead of, oh, that's the good stuff. Instead of having to, like, read the, well, not having to, like it's a, you know, some kind of punishment or anything, but instead of reading the comments and trying to maintain a conversation. But it's also, like, so much easier to see things that you originally missed because chat is just like, check it out, you missed the tinted crate back there. What's the best dipping sauce and why is it honey mustard? Look, it depends on the establishment that you're eating at, okay? Like in Canada, let's say you're at McDonald's. When I was a little kid, I was a barbecue sauce guy, okay? Barbecue sauce, when you really think about it, it's kind of just like, it's basically just like molasses jam. You know, it's like ketchup that you could spread on meat. I don't know where I'm going with that, but you know, like it's not really like. We'll be in North America. We'll see that, like, you know, people in England will eat like mint jelly on lamb or something like that, and we'll be like, "Whoa, jelly on meat? That's weird." And then we'll dip our chicken strips into barbecue sauce. Like, what the heck is barbecue sauce? It's like ketchup and vinegar, right? So I don't know. I'm teasing apart some weirdness in North American food consumption, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's like spicy ketchup. And then when I got older, I became like a sweet and sour sort of guy. Then when I got a little older than that, I became a hot mustard. And I know what you're saying is like, I thought that was my wife's nickname for me. But I do enjoy all the dipping sauces, honestly. Even, like, I never get it. But come on, how can you say no to like a ranch or something like that? Like, it's not good for you, and it feels like a little gross. Oh, I already went here. To be eating it, for sure. But ranch is like, it's delicious. Like, sometimes when I have like a Caesar salad. Look, I like when you get the hearts of romaine, and they, you know, they're crunchy and delicious. I like the croutons and the bacon bits, and you know, if you got some chicken in there as well, some Parmesan. But I mean, when you get like a crouton that's just soaked in Caesar dressing, that's where you're like, that's the best. That's the best part of the salad, for sure. It's fantastic. That being said, I never order it because I think it's just too decadent. Caesar salad I order all the time, but ranch on the oh lord, on the I guess it's not ranch, but I don't even know what I'm talking about. Long story short, there's a lot of conversation about dipping sauces, and it's a very roundabout way of saying I think it really depends on where you're getting it from. This is a great room. It's like an unbelievably good room. We even got a theme. That's how you can tell I'm having a good day. I'm gonna leave Tech 2 behind, although the range would be nice. Like for example, in Canada, McDonald's, I would honestly say if I had to rank the sauces, sweet and sour is my favorite. I like the sweetness and I like a little bit of tang. But if you're at A&W, then you gotta go with, or Wendy's as well. Then you gotta go with the barbecue sauce. It's like, I don't know if it's simulated, but it's got like a little hickory sort of flavor to it. It's like I don't know if they actually put pepper in the sauce, but they put like simulated, like visual black pepper flakes in there, and it just tricks your brain into being like, oh, this is like a bougie barbecue. Ooh la la. Something, the Wendy's barbecue sauce just hits different. It's like McDonald's Sprite, you know? Tastes like getting your ears candled. I've been really doing well with my metaphors today. Earlier today, I described the sound it makes when you first sit down on the toilet when you've got to poop is like when you try to squeeze the last little bit of dish soap out of the bottle. And I was like, oh, it's gross, don't get me wrong. But what an evocative bit of imagery, right? It's perfect. Excuse me. Those are my bombs. This is my building. Mine. If you mess with me, you're gonna get it. Got it? Can you explain ear candling? Well, I don't think it's like a real medical procedure, but it's something you can get done. Where basically like somebody holds a candle up to your, like just under your ear canal, and then it melts the wax, and then it kind of runs out. So it's like a way of removing impacted earwax. It's dangerous, don't do it. Yeah, I mean, I've never done it, but I'm aware of its existence. And then, how does that relate to Sprite? Well, I was like, you know, because sometimes you ever have like a Sprite that's so fizzy you can feel it in your ear? Maybe something's wrong with my eustachian tubes. But like, sometimes you'll have a soda that's so crisp, your ears go like it feels like it's melting the wax in your ears. And then I'm like, man, I should just pour this in my ears and see if it could... You know, you guys have CLR in America? Like, it feels like it would just unclog the pipes a little bit. But yeah, dipping sauce. How about that? It depends on the establishment in my world. That's all I gotta say. Don't put Sprite in your ears. So just in general, and we've been cultivating this energy for a while. If you are not smart enough to not put carbonated soda in your ear, I'm begging you to stop watching my stream. Because I like, honestly, you're making me look bad. I refuse to... You know, Rob and I, we used to, like, sometimes Rob will make a joke, like, I'll be like, hey, what'd you have for lunch? And he'll be like, broken glass. And then people are like, oh, you shouldn't be telling your audience you eat broken glass. And I'm like, maybe my audience, you know, I think that, let me put it this way, I think you're protecting a person that doesn't exist. I don't think anybody watching this is like, oh, my favorite streamer ate broken glass? I guess I'll try it. If you are that kind of person... You gotta leave until you get it sorted out, right? Like you gotta, if you're under the impression that you should be eating broken glass, you need to be immersing yourself in other environments. you know, before you get here. You're not cut out for this yet. Remember the Tide Pod challenge? That wasn't my audience either, man. Wasn't it? I think there were like 8 kids who ate Tide Pods. Everyone was like, all the Gen Z kids are going around eating Tide Pods. Meanwhile, people are out there right now, they think Bill Gates sent cyber snow to punish them for trying to secede from the Union. I refuse to apologize for the Tide Pod thing that I had no control over. Until we get the Bill Gates cyber snow conspiracy theory debunked. My friend Sam ate one. Again, Sam needs to talk to somebody. I'm not gonna say they don't look like they could be tasty, okay? They do kind of look like a candy that you could, you know, enjoy. But that's not because they look delicious. I think it's because, like, so many foods in our society are like nuclear purple and green. There's a lot, like Barbasol, dude. You ever go to a barbershop and see Barbasol? Barbasol looks delicious. Don't drink it. Sometimes you gotta, your brain will be like, you should eat that, and you've gotta use the higher order function of your brain and be like, no, don't eat it. You know? You can't trust your cerebellum in every situation. You gotta use the prefrontal cortex. Yeah, exactly. Your monkey brain says that bright things are tasty. And then before you know it, you ate one of those weird flowers from Annihilation and you turn into a bear. Yeah, that's true. Plus kids in my generation, they were taking bites out of Nerf footballs. You're right. They were, you know, we'd be like, hey, how much after it rains, we'll be like, how much will it cost to get you to take a drink out of that puddle? They'd be like, $5. You're like, oh, this is gonna be good. Some of the easiest $5 I've ever spent in my entire life. When you're a kid, $5 is crazy. It's like 5 bags of potato chips. Yeah, Barbasol is the blue liquid in the glass jar. Exactly. Plus, like, it looks so cool, right? It's got a comb in it. It's like, geez Louise. Like, tequila has a worm in it. Barbasol's got a comb in it. It's just a cultural thing. Blue, you're not wrong. Blue is a good flavor. That's a question for you. What's the best flavor of Gatorade, man? I'm trying to like, orange is not good. Orange is, I mean, it's fine, but it's not the best. That's just like the class. That's like vanilla. I kind of agree with the part of chat that says white is the best Gatorade. Something about white sports drinks. It's just like, it just feels nice. Oh, you're right. Sorry. That's Barbicide. Not Barbasol. Barbasol is that, like, the shaving cream that's like 4 cents a can. My mistake. When I used to, like, shave properly instead of just using a beard trimmer, like, I know in my heart of hearts that the gel is probably, like, it has things in it that are maybe better for your skin. And then when you put it on your face, it, like, lathers up. But there's no feeling like when you get that Barbasol shaving cream can as a 14-year-old and you just go and shoot out like 10 liters of foam on your hands and then go like, ugh. It's so good. It's just something about it. Like, it's like the first time I remember feeling like a man was when I put way too much lather on my face so that the razor couldn't even shave effectively. And I was like, this is what it's like. Then you miss like 7 spots shaving and you got like a weird long hair part of your neck. Oh, those were the days. $14? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I probably like could have started shaving earlier. But I was just like, I mean, when you're a kid, you don't really know, right? It kind of like sneaks up on you. Then one day my dad was like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to shave. And I was like, not right now. I'm playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And he's like, no, right now. I was like, okay. But point taken. I don't remember it, but I probably had like a really gross, like, you know, puby beard that I didn't even notice. I would love to, because people always say, like, when you get like a shave, a clean shave at the barber shop on your face or your head, like it feels amazing. I don't know if I could ever get myself to spend money on it though, because like my hair grows so fast. Is this the Emperor? Hold on. It's a good card, man. It's a good card. My hair grows so fast. I feel like I would only enjoy it for like a day, and then the next day I would be like, ah, oh, now I gotta go like back. Hold on, you're absolutely right. That's the way you play that. But I guess it's like, it's almost more of like a massage treatment, right? It's like a spa sort of deal, where you'd be like, oh, it feels nice, so I get it. I guess? I don't know. I don't know how many things like that I've ever bought in my life, now that I think about it. I am, well, I'm half bald on my mother's side. So like, you can see it, you probably can't see it too well right now because I shaved a couple of days ago. But you can definitely see it a little bit, right? Like I have the Costanza. So what's funny is that like when it grows, I never notice like the top of my head is getting extra hair. But I can feel that it's getting a little extra hairy, but the hair is so like thin and spotty that it doesn't show up on the camera really until it gets, you know, too gross and long. But on the sides, I know like as soon as I start to look like Elliot Spitzer, it's like it's time to shave. What was your tipping point for baldness? It's a good question. I think there were a couple of things. Starting in like my first year of university, anytime I was outside on a windy day, I was like constantly checking out my hair in like shop windows when I walked by. And like it was always like, you know, blowing over to the sun. You know, you'll notice like even as somebody that was never really like concerned with vanity too much, it took like longer and longer every single day just to style my hair, because you had to like get it in just the right way to look the same way it did 3 months ago. And then like one day, you know, the first stage of it is acceptance, right? Like once you accept that, like, yes, there's no denying it, like baldness is coming. My personal opinion was like the best thing I could do is just eat it right away. Because if it's going to be painful to deal with, I'd rather do it as soon as possible rather than dread it for like years and then have to deal with it anyway. Which, you know, it's... I'm happy that I summoned the courage in the moment, I guess, because, you know, it turned out to be totally fine. It's not... Honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Hold on, Tinted Rock back there. Tinted Rock, thank you. Like, oh, I just forgot, I thought you'd be there. It's really like, I don't know where it is. Left from the start. Okay, left from the start. Thank you. Is it up here? Or is it in the far left room? Ah, dude, they're so hard to see unless you're looking for them. But, I mean, that's what it's all about. Like, if there's... And again, I'm like not a fine specimen right now. I got a good excuse between, you know, global pandemic shutting down all the gyms, or at least, you know, probably responsibly they should be shut down. And then, secondarily, you know, not getting a whole lot of sleep every night, having a baby, and occasionally making nutritionally convenient decisions instead of decisions that would, you know, be for the best for your midsection. However, no, we don't want... Oh, you know what? We do want Dull Razor with a Thame. Look at this. A Thame Redemption Hours. Now we're talking. He's a father. I am a father, and you know what? My daughter's gonna say "fo" instead of "pho." So just get ready for that. I'm doing my part. Guppy? Here's the way I would think of it, okay? If you want to apply, like, strict logic to it, there's not much you can do about going bald. Ooh, future's so bright. I gotta wear shades. I don't even know what this is, but there's not much you can do about going bald. You could maybe, I don't know, I think Rogaine might stem the tide a little bit. I never got involved. And you could spend, you know, $15,000 or whatever and get a hair transplant. And if you make that decision, more power to you. However, if you're worried that, like, you're gonna be ugly when you're bald, you better be a friggin' stud right now. That's all I'm saying. Because if you're just like an average looking dude, you know, you got a little pudge in the stomach and stuff like that, you know, and when you wave, your tricep kind of flaps in the wind, like me right now, and you're like, oh, I'm just worried, like, I'm gonna lose all my sex appeal when I go bald. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? You just shave your head, and then there's other things in your control that you're not even doing right now. Like, you could eat well, you could go to the gym, you know, you could get better grooming habits and stuff like that. Why are you so concerned with your appearance when it comes to things that are outside of your control, but not concerned with your appearance at all for things that are completely within your control? So I'm not saying that to make people feel bad. Rather, I'm saying, like, you know, you can acknowledge, I guess, that, you know, just do what everybody does. What everybody does when they say when they're going bald. They're like, oh, I guess now I've got a good excuse to get jacked. And then get really into working out for like 6 months, and then get distracted, and, you know, start tuning into the Joe Rogan experience, and, you know, eat elk sausage for every meal, and boiled beef, and hot water. You know, this is the way. Have a baby during the pandemic. Start and end a podcast about inside baseball. Wait, is this too personal? I had genetic good luck of not going bald. This is from chat, not from me, obviously. I had the genetic good luck of not having the genes that code for baldness, probably. I believe you on that one, you know. I mean, maybe when you're like 70, but like, who cares, you know? But I got my first gray hairs when I was like 18 or 19. Honestly, I think it's kind of like the same. I think it's the same thing, right? Like, it might not be cool now, but I'm here to tell you, there's like a very limited window where you have any reason at all, if there was one to begin with, but any reason at all to worry about gray hair. Like, my first gray hairs started coming in. I actually remember I hadn't shaved in like 5 days or something because we were at TwitchCon, and we were at this the airport on the way back. And Kate was like, oh, you're getting your first gray hairs in your beard. And I was like, I mean, she didn't say it in a Scottish accent like I just did, but I was like, you know what? I'm like 27 at the time. Maybe a little bit earlier than expected, but I got nothing against it. I kind of look at the gray hairs as a sign of, I mean, not of pride necessarily, but I look at it as kind of like, as long as you groom yourself, it's like aging gracefully, kind of. I think gray hair is like kind of cool. Now there was a guy I went to high school with who was he got gray hair, like his first gray hairs he got in like 10th grade, and I made fun of him a little bit for sure. But I will also say that he was kind of a hunk, so he deserved it. Garbage cards, man. Garbage cards. We may win this run, though, actually. Yeah, the gray hair is in right now. Some people have all the luck. I bet he had magnificent hair. Oh, it was good. Oh, and he rolled the the good hair genes. Like, he was good at soccer too, which is like, oh, ooh la la, look at this. He's good at soccer. When I first met him in like 7th grade, he had the center part, Jonathan Taylor Thomas hairstyle. Which is like how you know he's like a cool guy. But then by like 11th grade, he got like he got a new cool haircut, and I was like, oh, this guy with his stupid cool haircut. I'm still rocking like the Lance Bass. What a jerk. Was he nice? Yeah, that's like the worst part. He was like really, he was like a good dude. He's like very personable and funny. An asshole, dude. Friggin' dickhead. Yeah, he's like pretty successful too. Like honestly, he's been like very rewarded in his life. Yeah, it's just like what the heck? We're so fast. What is this? The heck is this? I'm so fast. He stops on a dime. Yeah, he's got no momentum. Skirt, 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 skirt. This is when you're like running beeper drills in gym class. Skirt, 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 skirt. You will never get this. Yeah, I don't know. I think he works for some kind of like foreign company now. It's called like Doctors Without Borders or something like that. I don't know. It sounds pretty stupid. That'll show him. He doesn't actually work for Doctors Without Borders. And Doctors Without Borders is not stupid. Copy. I started balding at 13 and had a full beard at 17. Oh my. A teacher thought I was my friend's dad when I drove him home from play rehearsal. That is great. That's good stuff. Look, I'm right there with you. Like I haven't told this story for a little while. Oh, this is a new enemy here. I haven't told this story for a little while, but I always remember like, so in 12th grade, you know, there's like a high school skip day. I genuinely, literally never skipped a class in high school. So just follow that through with this story, okay? I never skipped a class in the entirety of high school. College, different experience, but, you know, I digress. That's not germane to the current point. So there's like a senior skip day thing, and I was like, sure, I'll like pretend to be cool or whatever for, come on, man, for a little bit, and we were gonna all skip class on a day in May, and then go to the beach. But there was only one problem. It's a very like relatable teenage story, I think. Here's the problem. I was a 17-year-old kid with back hair, all right? So what do you do about that? It's very simple. I got out about 7 or 8 razors, and, you know, the blades are like, geez Louise, I don't know, like $17 each, right? So I start shaving my chest and my shoulders and my back. It takes like, you know, hours. It takes hours to actually get it completed. You know, let's try to make a theme work, man. This is cool. It took forever, and you know, you're kind of like bleeding a little bit, not to the extent that, you know, like you're not cutting yourself, but sometimes your skin just like bleeds. And then you know, and I mean, if you've ever like tried to shave your shoulder, it's, you know, you have to be a contortionist, or your back especially. You got to be a contortionist to like get it done, right? So anyway, I shaved it all up, and I was like, I'm ready for beach day tomorrow. And then I woke up in the morning and just had razor burn, just all over my entire body, like the front and back of my torso. It just looked horrible, right? Like every second follicle was irritated. And I was like, well, this is going to be awkward. And all day, I was dreading going to beach day. And, like, I mean, it's one thing to be hairy, okay? You can't really control that. It's another thing to obviously be the kid who shaved his back before beach day and did a terrible job of it. Sorry, I forgot Yera. I'm in the middle of some momentum here. I apologize. Anyway, long story short, by around, like, the end of homeroom period, it started to rain, and I was saved. I was saved. I was gonna get driven with one of my other friends to the beach, and instead she was like, "Hey, do you want to just like come over to like my place and we'll watch like Batman Begins?" And I was like, "That sounds pretty nice." And so that's exactly how that went down. And I never had to show my embarrassing torso body foul to anybody. No, nothing happened. I was too embarrassed with the way that my chest looked. Didn't you hear the rest of the story? Judge Actual, thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, don't take that. Don't take that. Story? What story? Anyway. My senior skip day got canceled because of COVID, so I didn't have to worry about it anyway, and I wasn't going to skip to begin with. Ah! So you got to steal some cool valor. You're like, you were like, oh no, people are going to know I'm a nerd. But then, luckily, a global pandemic struck. And nobody had to know that you care about your education. I was thinking about that because, I don't know, like, I wouldn't say I have a twisted sense of humor. But I would say that I think about unusual things in some circumstances, you know? Like, I don't always think about, like, the moral of the story. I think about, like, what happened to the people afterwards, right? So, you know, there's probably... I'm not saying that the pandemic is a good thing. I mean, that's just crazy, right? What I am saying is that, you know, with so many proms being canceled, there's probably a lot of relieved nerds like myself out there that are like, now I don't have to, like, worry about prom. Now I don't have to think about, like, oh, am I going to ask somebody? And if I'm not going to ask somebody, am I going to be the guy who goes, like, solo or something like that? Or am I going to be am I just not going to go? But then for months, people are going to be like, oh, should I? Well, you're not going? You can go. Just go. And you're like, I don't want to. You got a little saved. Okay, I'll give you. Very bad for the tuxedo rental industry, though. For sure. All right, we actually won a run. How about that?